Hello Tubesters, it's Gav and welcome to another one of my videos. Today we've got the bench somewhat, I don't know the word for it really, overrun would be a good one. Overrun by a whole host of 28mm French Napoleonics. I don't often do bench updates because I've got so many projects, as we all know, that I prefer to have them separate videos. It's just easier to track what I'm doing rather than just putting a workbench up, if you understand me, because I have that much stuff on the go. I mean, right now, let's go through it all. This workbench update will be looking at some Napoleon. None of them are painted, by the way. You've got one lot in primer. Well, there is some painted ones in the background there for the. But anyway, we'll cross that bridge in a minute. But we've got the last unit to be painted for the commission I'm on at the moment, which is 28mm front rank figures, French, for a client. I've done 2 units of infantry, none of which have been based, which they are going to be going through the basing process this week. I keep saying it, but they are. And we've got the unit of cavalry, Empress Dragoons. So they've all been cleaned up, primed. Before that, a bit of filler around some of the horses and riders. But they're ready to go. As of tomorrow, they'll start getting paint on them. I've got a unit of 28mm French Perry Napoleonic infantry, which I'm painting to sell on at some stage. You can't buy, I can't buy, say, Indian Mutiny figures the price they are with without selling something first. So these you won't be seeing. I'm going to do 2 more updates on the 64th of foot. I'm going to show you some officers. You may see in the background when I put the main camera on. Sorry, the main tripod up. But they'll have a quick video early part of the week. There's only, I keep saying 6, there's 4 officers. And then I'll do another video when I've got those based. I probably will base all those. I believe I've got enough to base. Might be wrong. We'll have to. There's something involved in that I'll go into when I do that video. But to be frank, until I've raised more money, I won't be doing any more Indian Mutiny figures. That's not, I've not gone cold on the project or anything. As I say, it's long term. It's just when I've got some money, I'll do some figures. And I thought to myself, well, I've been sitting on a box of Perry Plastics. It's their original issue. Let's can I move stuff out of the way? It's this one, which is, I believe is it their original boxing, and comes with it says 42 figures. Excellent box again. I really do like the Perry Napoleonic plastics. I think they put a lot of thought into them. The moulding isn't too soft as it can be with some plastics. As I say, they're early American Civil War figures. I wasn't particularly that much impressed with, but these, the British that I've painted, and these guys, although I haven't painted these yet, but the selection that you can get with them, which we'll have a look at in a minute. So yeah, we've got the Napoleonics. What I'm going to do is 6 to a base, and every 6 I'll stick probably every 6 I'll stick a video up. Yeah, I'm milking it. Just to see how I go along. Now I'm going to try and hit these fairly heavy. When I do, like the commission I'm working on at the moment, I'm doing that to fit in with what I've painted over the last couple of years for this client. These ones will be more a bit like the Indian Mutiny figures, because they're heavily campaigned. They're going to be patched up. I'm going to have some dirt on them, and we're going to see if we can throw a fair bit of time at them. I won't get the money back on them. Well, You know what I mean? I won't make a lot for the time I'm putting in, that's what I'm trying to say. If you are doing commission work, not so much commission work, if you're doing units to sell, you need to hit the sweet spot between not rushing them and making them look basic. You can probably sell them, but you know, but the what I'm going to do with these, I probably won't get my money back. Or time, I keep saying my money back. I won't get my time back that I'm going to put into these. Is that? It's why Gav doesn't make any money, but I don't care. I do it for my head. I do it from. Yeah, I know what I'm going to be doing. So you know, somebody will get a bargain at some stage. Yeah, blah blah blah. So we've got those on the go. Any more figures? I say no, Indian Mutiny I've just told you about. So that's what we've got on the go for that one. Then we go to the modelling side of it. My tank, or tank destroyer, the Badger, that's going to get some more paint tomorrow. It's just taking, well, I'll just be glad now when I've painted all the wheels, I've stuck the exhaust on and that, because I've had to keep that separate and paint separate to, it's got a cover over and everything. It's hard to, I'll explain all that when I get a video up of that at some stage. I've got some green on it, and I want to put one highlight of green on, which I'll probably take down a bit with some weathering at a later stage, but I haven't done any of this. It's got a myriad of tiny wheels and stuff, and they're in primer, and they've had no green paint on them at all yet, so that's getting a bit long-winded, and I just want to start once the wheel, you know, once I've got it all, got the barrel on, or everything's on, I'll feel more happy with that. At least I feel like I'm getting to the stage where I'm getting into the weathering and bits and pieces. I personally, some people prefer to build, some people prefer to weather. I'm one of the people that just I enjoy it all, but it just seems to be taking forever. As I say, I don't have my, because of space limitations, I don't have my airbrush set up all the time, so it's not like I can just go, oh yeah, I'll just put a bit on here, and that can't happen. I have to have it done in a sequence where I'm getting a fair amount of time done. I was hoping to, or stuff done in the time. I was hoping, as I'd got it all set up yesterday, when I primed all of the clients' dragoons, there was 20 of them, I was hoping to then crack on and do some more painting on the Badger, but again, time constraints, just ran out of time. So that's that. So we've got the Badger. Wolverine, I've got to do a bit more. I mean, all his colours are on now. I've just got to do a bit more. I'm not 100% happy with the mask thing, yellow bit or whatever, the ears. That needs a tiny bit more. Just, I'm not happy with that yet, so that needs a bit more work. But I'm actually painting the base still. It's non-metallic metal, so it's just taking a long time. I've only got the base. I've done all that bit, but all this is just basic colours on to give me an idea of what I wanted. So Wolverine, you'll see him only when he's completed. I think I don't see the sense in showing you a base. There's another part to that base that still hasn't been done yet as well, with all the pipes and things that he sits on, and he's going to probably need some pinning or something, I think, in that, because he's not going to stand on that, I don't think. So that's that. The motorbike is still languishing in the drawer. It will get done. I need the space, so it's. I almost went to pick it up the other day, but again, time constraints. I just ran out of time to do the next phase on it. As I say, apart from that, it's more sticking it together to get onto the next phase, which is just painting, getting the nice sparkly paint on type of thing, you know, on the outside, which makes it look like the motorbike then. It's just getting around to getting it done. I've got a little 1 in 72 scale Hurricane, which got as far as getting stuck together and was filled. It has to have one more sanding and then a prime over. I'd done all the masking on the canopy and then just ran out of interest. So that'll get done when I get the interest back. And of course we're waiting for the Lexington. Now I might as well say here, rather than just putting in a ramble, stuffed up all this buy stuff. Oh well, I did buy, but I thought I was buy. It turned out I never actually bought. Not the CV2 Lexington, the one I wanted from E-Models. Some reason I must have not pressed something right, and it never went through. And I'm drumming my fingers, thinking, "Where's this blooming Lexington?" You know, E-Models aren't normally this long. Not even had an email, nothing. And then I thought, well, if you haven't had an email, Gav, and they always have, you know, it's in the, you know, these companies are now, they tell you when they've got it, tell you, you know, all that stuff, and I hadn't received anything. Do you think you've actually ordered it? Well, it turned out I hadn't. So reordered it. Email I got yesterday or Friday said it was, I can't remember if it was, I don't know if it had been put together. It's only going to go in, but it's only just the one model. I don't know, but it should be on its, I should be getting it sometime this week, because I really would like to get onto the Lexington. I've got an itch to do this. This is the problem. I'll just jump all over the place, but I'd really like to get onto one in 700 scale shipped. So there'll be a Lexington update at some point. I'll do an unboxing when I get her. Now, as for CV, God, 16 or 14? 14? Oh, I can't remember. But the other Lexington, the one that they sent me a game console game. It's about 20 years old by the look of it. Instead of the kit. They never even responded to. Well, they did. They just gave my wife an automatic refund, and never asked for the. It was like, keep the game, without actually ever saying anything. No, nothing. It just refund. Fair enough. I got the refund. No, they didn't quibble about it. They obviously don't want the game back, so that'll be going in the charity shop. So somebody else might as well get the use out of it. So yeah, we haven't got that one, which was just a bonus. I'd seen it for a £5. That kit's going for about £40 odd. You know, I wasn't particularly wanting to get that version of the the later Lexington. I wanted CV2, so it was just that was one I'd seen for a £5. Stick it in the cupboard for a rainy day. You know, yeah. So I think we might as well just quickly go to the bench. And we'll have a look at this myriad of half put together periplastics. I started last night. I've swapped a few heads, as they give you lots of head options and things. Well, we'll go down to the bench and have a look. Right, guys, thanks for joining me at the bench. I've literally flipped the camera around and put it straight down. I've got the big tripod out and everything, but to be honest with you, for what I've got to show you, I don't think it's really worth it. Pointy stick at grubby bench. Yeah, I really do have a mat that's covered in glue and is ancient, and at some stage this year I'll have to replace it, but I mean, it's got to be about 10 years old, this. Background, I won't go too far into it for the road video. Indian Mutiny figures, last of Client's infantry. I just need to do a quick touch up, and on the they've got the lentil pom-poms, and they just need a bit of metal looking in the middle of them. And I've got the eagles are all painted in non-metallic, but the poles need just a bit of blue on them. There you go, I just thought I'd say that. But they're going to go for a varnish with all the Indian Mutiny figures probably Tuesday, and then they get based. So that's that. Let's have a look at the plastic figures. As I say, I really like these. I like the British I did, and I quite like these. Well, I like these and I quite like them. You watch now, something's going to fall off, backpack or whatever. I'm sticking them together with the Tamiya quick set, so that's really like the welding type Tamiya glue. Sometimes it takes a couple of, because it's extra thin, it takes a couple of dabs on the backpacks, but I like it because it does give a good welding action if you persevere with it. So you get 6 voltigeurs for skirmishers. You can also obviously paint these as light infantry, and I would imagine you'll get away with painting them as some of the other countries that were under the domination of the French and obviously served the French, you know, the different Rhineland states, German states and things. They haven't been cleaned up or anything yet, so they'll see bits and pieces hanging off them, but they will all be cleaned. The 6 you can really again pose a couple of ways. They've just got the 2 sets of mainly the two sets of figures, stance-wise, torsos and legs and whatever, and you put the arms on. These arms are already joined. I've never been a big fan of these because they never seem to fit properly, and this will need a fair bit of filling. But as I haven't done any head swaps on these guys. I've just left them as they are. Yes, I have forgotten on several occasions and put great coats that are rolled up as with great coated figures. Obviously he isn't, but I have done that a few times. Oh, lie down, stay down. Right, this guy here, he's just one of the figures. Originally I thought, no, I'm not going to go through, these aren't for me. I'm not going to do head swaps on them or anything, and of course that lasted 2 minutes. This guy, he's still got his original head. I just cut it and moved it round, looking to one side, because I wanted a few of the chin straps showing up on the figures. I do love the trousers. You get a lot of options type of thing with the trousers. Not that you can pick, but they've got, you know, rolled up and tied off and things. Now I know some people don't like mixing greatcoats in with jackets. They either like one or the other. I'm fairly relaxed, especially I suppose it's not for me, is it really? I'm just going to sell them on, but it gives you, for me, I really wanted this to look like a campaign look, a real variety type look, and I think the greatcoats will work well, especially as I'll do a couple of different colours. Yes, and I managed to do what have I just said? What have I just said? And I've stuck a greatcoat. Great-coated guy with a greatcoat on his backpack. Well done, Gav. I thought I'd sorted all that out last night. Obviously not. He's got a blanket rolled up. Okay, guys, that's a blanket. And I'm sticking with it. I ain't taking it off again because I had to strip a lot off the other day. It's weird. When it comes to the painting, I seem to be able to concentrate because, as I say, I've got head problems and my head moves in and out. When it comes to modelling and sticking things on, my concentration doesn't seem to go as well. These backpacks, these are you get enough to make grenadiers and voltigeurs, actually, as obviously the flanking companies. I've put the what was it called again? The puckle. I know the one. You guys know what I'm on about. It's not the gendarme cap, which he has got a gendarme cap in there as well. You can put on, but you get a fair old mixture of backpack type of things. In the case of the flank companies, it looks like, because obviously you've got your sabre on your briquette. You tend to just get the cooking pan, frying pan type of thing. If we go over, and they've all got the carrot top pom-pom, and then the Fusilier companies, you've got the more rounded pom-pom. But there's some great face poses type of thing. Again, this guy's got the pan on the back. Some have got gaiters on, some haven't. You're not going to see a lot of the gaiters, especially with the you know, the way that I'll put tufts around them and things. But this guy's got his shoes hanging off, which is great to see. I did think of drilling those out, and I still might put a drill in there just to hollow them out a bit. I just needed that to go off. I've not long put that on. You get the gourd drinking canteens. As I say, I've not gone overboard with the head swaps because I didn't want them to look. You know, I wanted a certain amount of covered shakos and things like that. This is a guy that I did swap a head for. His head was it sat quite well. Other guys I'm going to have to put. Well, I'll put some liquid, make up some liquid. Putty for now. The name escapes me. I'm sorry, guys. Again, head problems, things, names, and keep coming in and out. But milliput was the word I was after. Sorry. I'll put some thicker milliput, but I prefer using like a watered down with IPA, so it dries quicker. But I do like that the variations that they've got in their hats. Again, what I do with this, I haven't done it yet with this guy because he'll need filling around the base of his neck and that. But if you use the same glue and just wipe it round, you'll get rid of a lot of this stuff. It's just like you're doing modelling. The bit of thrift that's lying about where you've been using your scraping tools. If you just put some of that glue on it, it'll melt it. On a lot of times, it'll melt it away. And I'll usually run the glue up and down the inside and outside of the legs where I've been scraping. These are guys, as you think, they're attached to the sprue there. These have got standard heads on without me moving any. As I say, I've just thrown a few in for variation. We've got a backpack to go on these guys, and that looks like a loaf of bread or a piece of cheese, whatever you want to paint it as, I suppose, really. Piece of ham, I don't know. Very nice. As I say, it's I think I've got a head that I've cut off ready to go on. Yeah, I wanted to show that. I think that's good. You've got the tear in the shako cover, and you can just see the shako plate underneath. I thought that was a really nice touch, so I had to have him as a... And he's tied the cover around his chin. So he's one of these guys that I've just shown you. They're going to get a head swap. And I just use my Tamiya side cutters. Try and make the cut as straight as possible. Keep it, do your very best. I haven't done it yet, but it's on the cards of getting in too close, taking a big chunk and taking the musket out at the same time. So just be careful. And there's one I went too far down and flattened out as I took the cut. It took off obviously the tiny bit of strapping and that. So I'm going to just put a bit of putty on that to build it up. But yeah, that's where your time comes in on things like this. It's not just the painting, it's the getting them together. There's always the trade-off between metal and plastic. I don't go one way or the other, to be honest. I just enjoy painting figures, so whether they're metal or plastic, it doesn't really faze me. The only thing is, if I'm selling, the price of metal figures now, not the plastic figures are particularly cheap, but if you're £22, £23, £20, for a box of plastics, 42 figures, you're not going to get that in metal. You're going to be looking more at £40, £50, if not more, for 42. Now, if it's a project like the Indian Mutiny figures, and that you want to go to that expense and whatever, then it's your project, isn't it? But if you're actually doing them to pass on, to sell on, it's now getting a bit scary whether you can sell the figures. Oh, you'll sell them if you do them at some stupidly low price that people just take your arm off for. But if it's a sensible price, a lot of the times people won't buy them, and you're left with a metal unit that's just cost you, just to buy at least £50 and probably more, especially for one as large as this at 42 figures. It's a lot of investment if you're not going to be able to get to sell them. And then you do get people saying, oh, I don't like buying plastics, they're fragile and things like that. And all you can do is, from a selling point of view, is you're never going to please anybody. It's like YouTube when people say, oh, I don't like the music you put on your channel, when you've got people who've got music in the background, and someone say, great music, you can't win. I don't like music at all on the channel. And it's the same with these plastic figures. If somebody has an interest in the way they've been painted, they might well buy them. I don't think they're massively that fragile. Yes, of course, they're plastic. Yeah, there's always a chance of knocking them off bayonets and stuff. But especially in the world we're living in financially at the moment, or have been for a while, let's face it, it really is a trade-off, isn't it? So I'll be painting these for the love of painting figures. I know I'm not going to be able to sell these figures for anywhere near the time I've put in for them, and somebody will be, probably crowing on their, who, if I do sell them, will be saying to them, mates, "Oh, look at these, they're great, aren't they? They paid this for them." You just got to take the hit. At the end of the day, I make enough to sell, to buy another box in, and obviously maybe I'll make enough money to get some Indian Mutiny figures next time round. I might invest in the 2 or 3 boxes of Perrys in one go. As I say, I must have sat on these for I got these, somebody was selling these off cheap, and I got these. I believe it was about £17-18. I think I bought these originally, but it's they are just really nice figures. I'm very impressed with them. Where you've got bits of softer, I'm just trying to find softer plastic, which is normally where the musket butt is with the canteen. You get lots of different canteens. The wicker. So everything's behind there, so you can't. The camera doesn't want to show. This will be obviously either a ceramic or a glass drinking bottle, and they put them. Obviously, this is for the people that don't know. They put them in like a wicker carrying basket. It's a bit soft on the wicker detail, but you'll still be able to pick that up. But what I'm more on about is the rifle butts. This one not so much, because it's fairly stuck out, but there's a couple of poses which, now I've said it, I'm struggling to find. This one isn't any of that different really, but this is the metal. They've got loads. They've hit every type of drinking canteen that the French used, or you often see them used. So I normally just, there's a bit of mould line there. These guys haven't been touched yet, and I'll cut that back a bit. You can dig the plastic out if you want to go that far and make where it's a tiny bit softer. And I say it's usually the butts of the muskets in with whether it's a bit of uniform or a drinking canteen. There's a couple of poses it's a bit softer, but again, if you just black line it or dark brown in the painting process, I really think that's enough, especially when they're going to be in a unit. That's enough. There's the straps. Bit soft. I wouldn't go to not at 42 figures. I wouldn't be going to the time expenditure in trying to dig them out a bit personally, because they're not soft. They're not almost blended in with the jacket. Just pick them out again with a bit of dark lining of your choice. And sometimes they can be that this one isn't too bad, but again, under there, where the tail of the coat is, just put your dark line underneath. Some people would use a wash, but I still prefer the dark line and things like that. It'll just give a bit of definition to the cut there. Right, that's about it. Let's just one of these guys over. This is what we've got coming up as well, that you'll see at some stage when I've done a few. So it'll be a fairly Napoleonic heavy on the 28mm front for a couple of months. But these are front rank metal. I won't get them all out over. And that'll be in dark green, as you know, if you know your Napoleonic regiments. So yeah, there was I did think of doing these guys as Swiss, as it shows on the diagram, just because I've been painting a lot of French and it would be nice to do something different. But I thought, no, let's do these as French, and I'll probably do. I actually wanted to do a Napoleon. I was going to say Napoleonic cavalry regiment, as I show you those French Empress there. But I was going to do one of the periplastic Napoleonic units in cavalry. So what I might do is get, if they do a deal or anything like that. I'm not sure if they do, but if I get 3 boxes or something and get a box of cavalry or 2 boxes of cavalry and a box of infantry. But there we go. I don't know, I was going to do this as a bench update, but I'm actually, after all me talking, I think I'll probably be going down as a bench ramble. But thanks for stopping by and taking a look. As I say, we'll have a brief look. I'm not even going to bother filming it now because I need to carry on with these guys, or they'll be going on forever. We'll have a quick look at those 4 Indian Mutiny figures in the week that you see there. Have a close up, and I just need to talk to you about that bit of the project. As I say, it's not stalled or anything. As I say, these are expensive figures, and and let's put it straight, no more expensive than other figures out there. I'm just saying, when you're buying them for yourself, they become expensive. So yeah, when I've got some spare cash I want to spend, the next Indian Mutiny unit will get bought. But in the meantime, we shall enjoy painting French, lots of French in different mounted or on foot. So yeah, thanks for stopping by and taking a look. Hopefully I'll have the USS Lexington CV2 for 1942 Greek build. That'll be coming along. And we'll have an unboxing of her sometime in the week. The bust that I'm also painting for the group build, I don't want to do that until I've got Wolverine done, so I need to get on now and get this. I did have a good session on the base the other night, but I need to try and knock that on the head this week if I can, or at least into the early part of next week, and then we can get the Marine stuck together and filled and start work on him. So thanks for stopping by and taking a look. It's yet another ramble. I didn't mean it to be, but it is what it is. So look after yourselves, and we'll catch each other very soon on another video.